being massively depressed at the moment is not enough to keep me from giving you, my caseworkers, a very special video edition of Top 10 Cases. Now, in the past few years, the term bromance has become very prominent. According to Urban Dictionary, it's described as the complicated love and affection shared by two straight males. So, I thought this edition of Top 10 Cases will look at the 10 greatest TV bromances. Before I get to that, let's get to the few pairs that I had on the list but had to remove for whatever reason. They are the, I guess, honorable mentions. And since I'm not in a serious mood, my best friend will be co-hosting with me. Here are the honorable mentions.
Correctly with the correct amount.
Sorry about that. So let's get started, shall we? Number 10 is Corey and Sean of Boy Meets World fame. These two definitely had, especially as the years went on, kind of very humorous homosexual undertone to their relationship, in the fact that they often acted as if they were a married couple. It was especially funny when Corey actually married Topanga, and they actually made several jokes on this fashion that these two were basically married already, and much of the episode was not even so much about Corey and Topanga and their big step, but more about how this will impact Corey and Sean's friendship. And even when the show kind of went from, Corey and Topanga, or kind of emphasized more on Corey's relationship with his brother, the one constant throughout the entire series was the friendship between Corey and Sean, and you really got the sense, in a strange way, that that was the most important relationship in his life. And in a big way, I think that relationship deserves its place on this list. Number 9 is Mark Green and Doug Ross from ER. Obviously, ER, just based on the type of series it is, it doesn't lend itself to being about the personal relationships between characters. At the same time, I thought it was a very realistic approach towards a work friendship, where these two, probably would never have been friends if they hadn't been working together. Yet they became very close through, their relationship. And in fact, beneath this video, I am going to show the clip of George Clooney's last appearance on the show, excluding the very brief appearance he made as Doug Ross during Carol Hathaway's last episode. But it was a very touching scene that really exemplified their friendship, that despite the fact that they might not always see eye to eye on a personal level or on a work level, professional level, they truly do care about each other. And, they're clearly there for each other during the difficult times. If I remember correctly, Doug and Mark had actually gotten into a fight the episode that Doug finds out that his father died, and despite their issues, Mark still followed him all the way out to wherever they went so that he could be there for him. And I thought that they did a really nice job with that friendship. I remember one episode where Mark's got reservations or something to a really nice restaurant, and he can't find anybody to go with, so he ends up taking Doug. And it just, you have two guys there in a romantic candlelit dinner, and it didn't seem odd. And I thought they did a great job with that friendship. Coming in at number 8 is Peter and Nathan Petrelli. Now these two are, I guess, a very literal sense of the word bromance. Instead of a picking up. I guess sci-fi is not really for everybody. In order to make a show like Hero successful on a network like NBC, people really need to care about the characters. And I think that Nathan and Peter are one of the reasons why they're able to get beyond their genre and really reach people who wouldn't normally watch a show like this. These two, I love how throughout the whole season, Peter will kind of be that angel on Nathan's shoulder, constantly being his conscience and telling him what to do, what's right and wrong. But yet at the end of the season, that really climatic moment, it'll be Nathan that comes to Peter's rescue, and he'll be the one that either does something heroic or says something heroic. And I think these two just work off of each other beautifully, and I really don't think the show would work if not for this relationship. I think the other strong relationship, of course, is HRG and Claire, but I think that this particular relationship was kind of I think it was maybe the highlight of a disappointing season 2. I think these two, even though they were kept apart for pretty much the entire season, which I think was a mistake, their final scene together was really beautiful, and these two always hit a home run. And number 7 is perhaps the originator of the bromance, Norm and Cliff from Cheers. Now these two, if I'm not mistaken, obviously this is very early into my life, this show, if I'm not mistaken, originally these two didn't even share all that many scenes together, and they kind of talk across the bar, but Norm was at his classic seat and Cliff was usually across on the other side, and they'd trade barbs every now and then, but they just had such tremendous chemistry together that this relationship was made practically the center of the show. I think even today, if you tell somebody to name 3, even 2 relationships from Cheers, they'll probably say Sam and Diane, and Cliff and Norm. It's a classic friendship, one that I think kind of solidifies the present-day definition of romance, where you kind of have 2 characters who are not very similar, who constantly pick on each other, but at the end of the day, you can tell they really do care about each other. And for instance, I could think of one episode, the one that Cliff is repeatedly sending jokes to Johnny Carson, but keeps getting rejection letters, and Norm can't bear to give him that news, so he tells him that it got accepted. He comes all the way out to LA with him, and then bribes the cue card guy to use one of his jokes. And I think that kind of shows that at the end of the day, they really do care about each other, even when they pick on each other so much.